Right, here we go, back at it again. Coffee ready, water ready. I'm still trying to wake myself up this morning. But this is why I do the podcast. I love it. Right, let's go. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of the day it is you're listening to me here on the Moore Army podcast. Welcome back to another episode. Hope you're all doing very well out there since the last time I spoke to you a week ago. Another week has passed. Another week has gone by. But we're still here. Still here, even though the world's going boogaloo. We're still here. This crazy ass world that we live in right now, but we're all still here. But anyway, yes, guys, welcome back to the Moore Army podcast. Hope you all had a great week since the last time I spoke to you. Hope you all had a great weekend. I am back for another episode here today, sitting here this morning in my usual wee spot, looking out one of my windows here at my home, looking outside and thinking, what an absolute gloomy old, crappy old October day. Well, at least it's not raining. So it's not, which is a good thing. So I'm hoping to get out later on for a wee bit of a walk later, hopefully. Clear the old head after a bit of an emotional day yesterday, which I'm sure your bloodies have probably saw in the recent vlog. But anyway, yes, guys, welcome back. Plenty to talk about today on the podcast, as always. Some of your questions I want to answer later on in the episode too. But before I get into any of that there today, if you are a regular listener to the podcast or you're new to this program and you would like to get in touch with us here on the Moore Army podcast, you can do it by the regular sources, which is the social media, which is the Instagram, which is my Instagram, official Matthew Moore on there, or the Facebook page for the YouTube channel, which is Moore Army YouTube channel. Also, if you want to contact us by email, which you all probably know by now, moorearmypodcast@yahoo.com. Also, if you're listening to us here on YouTube, if you want to go in the links in the description, you can find all the stuff on them there. And if you want to drop a like in this video today on YouTube and subscribe to the channel, guys, I would appreciate it. If you're listening to us and all the other sources, please add us to your favorites. And also, if you want to go to our merch store, which is available on all our social media platforms and also in the link in the description of this video here on YouTube. All the new Moore Army merch is out there. Also a few tinklings of Christmas merch already. I know. It's now available on there. Hoodies, t-shirts, you name it, we've got it for you, your partner, your children, whatever it is you want to do. Moore Army merchandise is now available on there. And also, before I continue on today, if you want to give a bit of support to our friends and partners of this podcast and the Moore Army in general, FTBL Spot for all your football needs, whether it be classic shirts, mystery shirt in a box, and more. You can go to their website, which all the links are in the description here on YouTube. And also, if you go to our social media pages and search FTBL Spot, you can find all their information on there. And also, if you contact them through their social media and quote Moore Army in your message, they will give you a discount code at the checkout for all your great football needs. So the pair of football boots, classic shirts, mystery shirt in a box, you name it, they've got it. FTBL Spot is the proud partners of the Moore Army. Anyway, now that's the business stuff out of the way. Before I get into some of the subjects I want to talk about today, a lot of you have been contacting me in relation to this podcast. I made an announcement last Thursday on social media about the podcast being cut down to 1 day. And I wanted to address that first off the bat on the podcast today. Life gets in the way, guys. So it does, whether it be life away from YouTube. My life does not revolve around YouTube. And it's always been like that. YouTube's fun. It's a hobby. I enjoy it. Podcast is my way of communicating with you guys. Do live streams as well. But again, other things get in the way. And unfortunately, I had to make a decision. I've been thinking about it for the last couple of weeks that I had to cut the podcast for now down to 1 day a week. And I've had a lot of yous coming in saying, you're disappointed about it, and obviously you respect for what I'm doing, which I thank you for. But obviously I've had a few clowns coming in. I think it's the trolls and the morons don't like it because they want to hear more of me. They come in and go, "Oh, you're letting your audience down. You should be disgusted with yourself and all." It's actually horrendous, guys. How much these Looney Tune lefties think they're funny. These oddballs who they just love to troll and hate. But you got to understand, my life does not revolve around. If YouTube was taken away tomorrow, my life still goes on. If my podcast closed tomorrow, life still goes on. You know what I mean? So, but no, I made a decision. It was a tough decision. I mean, is it a permanent decision? At the moment, I don't know. I can't answer that question. But at the minute, guys, I have other things going on in my life, which is more important, and I need to focus on that right now. But I'm still going to be here on a Tuesday, doing a podcast every week, and I'm still going to be doing YouTube, and still doing my football videos, and still doing all different bits and bobs, so I'm not going away. But again, this is what happens. And again, I've said this many times, I don't have a big team like some big YouTubers have working behind the scenes for them and doing their editing for them and all that, their bits and bobs. I do everything myself. Editing, publishing, recording the podcasts, the live streams, all the edits and all afterwards. I do all that. And if people can't accept that, well then, tough. So for the people who have sent me lovely messages over the last, 4 or 5 days since I announced it last Thursday, thank you. And thank you for your understanding. But for people out there who are just heavily medicated Looney Tunes, who just love the troll, then tough. I'm sorry, but no, I don't think so. And I don't have to explain myself. I'm just telling you. Well, I am sort of explaining myself in a way, but I'm not doing it in a way where it's like, I have to pander to the audience. No. I'm just telling you how it is. This is what happens. So yeah, it sucks, but what can you do? You have to get on with your life. But I'm still doing a podcast. So I am. So I'm not going nowhere. So just a less of a day of me for the Looney Tunes to go mad and go, oh my God, there's no less days for us to troll them. Yeah, with your fake Instagram accounts and your fake Twitter accounts and your fake Facebook accounts with your accusations and your false claims and your bullshit messages and all. What are you going to do? You're going to go and find somebody else to fill in for Thursday night to go and torture them instead? I actually ran into a guy there at the weekend at football. And I was talking to him about it, and he says, how long have you been doing YouTube now? And I says, it'll be 10 years in March. And he went, what? I was like, yeah. Do you think you'd be a bit bigger than what you are? And I says, to be quite honest with you, it's got more to the point now where I just do YouTube. It's not a hobby, but yes, but I just do it now for the hell of it. I enjoy doing it. I love doing it. And if we don't get as much bigger as we have, I'm still happy with the audience that we have, because at the end of the day, the loyal audience that follow us, they're the ones that I appreciate the most. I don't like fake people. And I know I have a loyal fan base out there who watch my videos all the time and who listen to my podcasts and watch the live streams and whatever else. And I'm loyal to them. And he actually asked me, he says, what would you do if you woke up tomorrow and you had like 20 million subscribers and you were making all this money and all, what would you do? I wouldn't change. And I've always said that. I'll never, ever, ever, ever change. If I woke up tomorrow morning and there was £50 million in my bank, I wouldn't change. So I wouldn't. But that's just me. That's just the way I am. And then again, he also made a point. He says, but you see all these young ones coming up now on YouTube and they get popular right away. And does that not bother you, the fact that, you're not as massive, even though you've been on there for 10 years. And I go, well, something, a lot of these YouTubers I see out there become popular overnight is because they're getting on like tits. Yes, I do it as well sometimes in the vlogs, like live reaction videos and whatever else. But I don't go around acting like a complete drama queen or a complete tit. I'm me. I'm basic me. And if people don't like me, I don't change for anybody. And then he said to me, he goes, well, maybe you should change a wee bit just to try and get more of an audience. And I said, well, why should I go and change myself for views? I'm me. I don't change. If people, I've said this for years, if you don't like me, don't watch. Piss off. Away you go. Bye. Cheerio. There's the door. If you want shoved out the door, I'll do it for you, no problem. But no, I had a long conversation with him at the weekend, and I just said, look, listen, I'm me. I do my life. I do me. I live a plain life, and if people don't understand that, well then, tough. So that I don't change. But I am changing the channel. Obviously, I'm doing different things, and I try new things and all that there as I get older in life. But no, I'm just me. Little old me. And I do get a lot of people all the time saying, you should change your channel and do it more like Mr. Beast. Do your channel and be more like... Why would I want to copy somebody? Everybody's their own person. I don't change for anybody. And if people can't accept that, well then, tough. Because there's a few out there who don't like me, and they obsess with me, and they hate me, and I just laugh at them. Like, what have I ever done to them? Zero. They're just sad little people. But anyway, enough of that. As I said to you, the podcast is going 1 day a week for now. Again, things might change, guys. If it does, happy days. Back to 2 days a week. I'm enjoying it. So for people who have supported this podcast, which there's a lot of yous out there over the last, how long have I been recording this podcast now? 2 years. Obviously, I had a wee bit of a break for a while. But yeah, you are the ones that keep this podcast going. So thank you. I appreciate it. It means a lot. And we'll keep playing on as much as we can. But anyway, moving forward, what have I got for you today on the podcast? Well, we've got some sad news actually today, but it's news that kind of like blew me away. MTV is closing its channels here in the UK after all these years of 40 years of MTV. Unbelievable. Also some sad news about Diane Keaton, who unfortunately passed away a few days ago. Massive Hollywood celebrity. Also, a former Premier League referee who we've talked about on the podcast before, but at the time was the guy, David Coote, who was caught slobbered about Jurgen Klopp. Well, he's in hot water, and to be honest with you, it's not good hot water, trust me. Also, a illegal migrant who threatened to kill, maybe the future Prime Minister of this country has been jailed for 5 years. Interesting. And also, for you parents out there, there's going to be a new law to tackle the cost of school uniforms. School uniforms are a friggin' nightmare out there. So for all you parents out there who still have kiddies at school, I have some updates in relation to school uniforms and tackling the charges of it, because the prices of school uniforms are a nightmare. And thank God now my kids are both finished school, because the prices of their uniforms were an absolute friggin' disaster. So we've got that to talk about today. And I want to go through some of your questions too. So stay tuned. So I want to talk about some of your questions. But we're going to start off today talking about this unfortunate, sad news. MTV, music television. The innovator of television music on TV. I remember growing up in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, watching MTV as a very small young lad. And used to get all the... It was basically like our Spotify to this day. This is before the internet and before smartphones and all this jazz. We always used to sit and watch it on a Friday and Saturday night, late on Sky TV back in the 80s, early 90s. You know, I remember sitting and watching it with my cousins over the years, watching all the old rock music videos and all the pop music videos and everything. Obviously, as the years went on, it's obviously changed. They've expanded it to a few more TV channels like MTV Hits, MTV Classic, all that stuff. But it's been announced. It says here, it was actually the world's first 24-hour music broadcaster. And I remember I remember sometimes coming in, my God, from like nights out when I was like 18 years of age, 19 years of age, coming in and sitting down, or say you were working late shifts at work and you were coming in at like 2 and 3 in the morning and you sat down and MTV was on. Or sitting up late in your grandparents' house back in the early 90s, late 80s, and sitting watching MTV at like 2 o'clock in the morning. And you thought it was great. You know, it was just all those things. It was great memories from MTV. And then more recent memories as well. Fucking Beavis and Butthead started on MTV, and they've just recently come back in the last couple of years there recently. And that's where they cut their teeth, MTV. MTV is was the first 24-hour music channel, and it's going to be stopped showing rolling pop videos in the UK after almost 40 years when it closes 5 of its channels at the end of this year. MTV Music, MTV 80s, 90s, Club MTV and MTV Live will stop broadcasting after the 31st of December. However, the flagship channel MTV, which will be obviously broadcast MTV HD, will remain on there and show reality series including Naked Dancing and Geordie Shore. What the fuck is going on? Kick that shit off and play music 24/7 the way it used to. There's been a recent interviews done by MTV's someone by the name of Simone Angels told multiple sources that she was really sad, and it's all due to cutbacks. So it is. But obviously everything was... the channel itself is iconic. I mean, it even created its own European Music Awards, which was held here in Belfast, actually, one year, the MTV Music Awards. It's just been around. It's been in the UK since the late 80s and early 90s, and it's going to be gone. And it's just going to say, people are actually debating now and arguing about it online, saying, why are they showing more reality stuff? It's called MTV, music television, not reality television. So it's a bit of a sad day, really, when them channels go. And another channel there recently closed in the UK, which I have fond memories growing up watching, which was Eurosport. That was another channel I used to grow up watching in the 80s. I used to watch the old WWF wrestling. They used to broadcast one of their shows on it, on the old Eurosport back in the day. And it's gone now too as well. So all these iconic channels are being closed down and moved on. And again, it's a real sad thing to see. Now they'll still be active in America, MTV, but again there will still be the MTV HD, which is the main channel. But again, I don't think it's going to get as many viewers unless you get all these weirdos watching Geordie Shore and all that crap. But it's a sad day. It's a sad day, guys. I have so many memories from MTV. You know, I remember actually sitting watching Beavis and Butthead and all when I was younger. I've actually watched a few episodes of the Beavis and Butthead, and it still is funny. And so I showed it to Lewis. Obviously, Lewis is 16 now. And he looked at it, man, why do you see this funny? Because that's the simpler humour we used to do back in the day compared to now. It's all that you can't be laughing at jokes like that. Like Beavis and Butthead laughed at like boobs and women and wanting to score with women. And, you know, you see that stuff now. A teenager or 18-year-old now, and they go, well, that's not funny. No, I'd rather go on TikTok or watch something on my phone. Sad day, guys. MTV closing its doors after over 40 years of broadcasting. So sad. Let's move on. Former Premier League referee, David Coote, this absolute fucking window licker. I'm sorry, he's a clown, he's a creepy bastard. Has now had more stuff put on him. You all know, anybody who watches football, I mean, obviously it's not a football-related story. In a way it is, but in a way it's not. He was caught slobbering about Jurgen Klopp. He got banned from refereeing, and now he pleads guilty to making indecent images of a child. Guys, I have an old saying: when you look like a creep, you sound like a creep, and you act like a creep, you're a fucking creep. And I've met a lot of creeps in my time. And this guy I always thought was a creepy looking wee rat. But it says here, former Premier League chief David Coote has pleaded guilty to making indecent images of children. The 43-year-old arrived at Nottingham Crown Court on Tuesday, which is today. He'll be there today, actually. He was previously charged on August the 12th. He was sacked by the Professional Game Referees Association in December after being filmed and assaulting former Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp, which we all saw the videos of. He was charged. It was charged a category A offence in February 2025, but he's being prosecuted for indecent images of children. I'm sorry, that son of a bitch needs locked up. I've said this before. Anybody who makes videos or photographs in indecent images or anything of children either need to be fucking executed or taken away and locked up forever. Pedophiles, perverts, creepy bastards like that need to be locked up and put away. Disagree with me if you want, I don't care, but that is just sick. Indecent images of a child. That guy was refereeing in front of thousands of people every week, children and all in that crowd. Fuck knows whatever else. He was probably looking at kids in the audience or the crowd, or he was probably doing different things as well. Sick bastard. And people like that should be locked up. I'm sorry, but I'm just calling a spade a spade. It's an online podcast. People like that need to be locked up. So he's in court today, and I hope they throw the book at him. And he doesn't play this fucking wokey fucking innocent mental health card, whatever it is. Don't think so. You were caught. You're a pervert. You're a paedophile. You'd be locked up. Paedophiles, in my opinion, should be getting death penalty. It's disgusting. Anybody who does that to children or any type of indecent action towards children don't deserve to be here. And you can call me whatever you want for it. That's my opinion of it. It's disgusting. Children. That is... No. I'm going to move on, guys, before I went to a full rant because it's wrong. And the guy needs locked up. I'm sorry, he really does. It's disgusting. It's actually disgusting. Anyway, moving on. Some news about the, potential future Prime Minister of the UK, Nigel Farage, because a lot of you do email me about politics, but I tend to try and avoid away from politics as much as possible now, because for a while there we were talking a lot about it, so we were. But a small boat migrant, one of these ones that come off the boats, threatened to kill Nigel Farage, has been jailed for 5 years as he, he says he was obviously threatened to kill him. The guy was jailed for 5 years. His name was Francie Khan, whatever his name was made the threat between October 12th and 15th last year on a public TikTok video. Like, who the fuck does that? Stupid bastard. Excuse my language again, guys. It's just these people are just making me so angry. He was sentenced for 5 years in jail for this, and Nigel Farage has obviously made his public statement about it. But again, when you go out and do things like that, you're going to get caught. Making threats to go and kill a public figure. I mean, I don't know. This world is going boogaloo, guys, at the minute. Like, all these things going on about wars and immigration and people just, I don't know. But if you go out and do something like that, and you threaten the future Prime Minister of the UK that you're going to kill him on a public TikTok video, then obviously you're going to be caught. So he got 5 years for jail. Whether he serves his 5 years, I don't know. So we'll just have to wait and see. But some more sad news, guys. Sorry about the sad news today on the podcast, but Diane Keaton, well-loved actress, who we all know has been on our screens for so many decades, passed away at the age of 79. The LA Fire Department was called to a response call from her house on Saturday morning, just after 8 a.m, and she was taken away in an ambulance. She passed away at the age of 79. Now, we all know Diane Keaton. She's a famous actress. She's been in multiple movies, big movies, TV shows. You know, for what I came across of, she was a very lovely lady. I remember watching some of her stuff growing up as a kid. I actually watched one of her films there recently, a lot of months ago, with a friend of mine. We sat and watched one of her films one night, and she was just so good in it. You probably remember from some of the things that she's done over the years. I'll give you a few names, a few examples of things she's done over the years. Films like Something's Gotta Give, First Wives Club, Father of the Bride, Annie Hall, Book Club, Baby Boom, which was a big popular movie in the 90s. Hanging Up, and also her massive appearance in The Godfather. She became famous back in the 70s from being in the Godfather franchise, and also working with director Woody Allen. So she was a very, very popular actress. But then, guys, when I seen her in that recent film I watched at her, she didn't look 79. Maybe in her 50s, but she looked so good for her age. Now, obviously, I've been doing a bit of digging this morning to find out exactly what her cause of death was, but I'm still trying to find out the whole information about it all. But, I mean, she was such a fantastic actress and well-renowned all around the world. Everybody knew who she was. And unfortunately, she's passed away. So that's another one gone from that generation, which is so sad, And I was looking at some of the stuff over the last couple of days online, and the comments and the memories put out about her, and all the different her fans and stuff followed her and stuff. So, I mean, I heard the news about it, and then I just sort of briefly had to get on with my day because I was busy and I was away in Lurgan on the Saturday and stuff. So, but no, it's very sad. So it is. There's another one from that generation gone. So it is. Diane Keaton passed away, 79. You wouldn't think she was 79, but looking at her, unreal. Let's move into the subject for parents now. All you parents out there, you know what it's like when you get your kids at school. The price of school now is absolutely horrendous. Long gone's the days whenever I went to school where whenever you went for like PE gear, you went in a pair of white shorts, a white t-shirt, and a pair of plimsolls. Excuse me while I take a wee drink. long goes those days. Now the fact that all schools now have school uniforms like PE gear and hoodies and zippy tops, and the actual uniform itself costs an absolute arm and a leg. But it's just been recent, doing a bit of digging there, and I found an article that I wanted to bring up today on the podcast, because for you parents out there, there's going to be a new law to tackle the cost of school uniforms. Now this is for, I'm going to mention this here It could be in the UK mostly as well, but here in Northern Ireland, for people who listen to my podcast here in Northern Ireland, Stormont Assembly members have passed, and they've actually passed it, a new law addressing the cost of school uniforms in Northern Ireland. The law will compel schools to explain to parents the reason for uniform prices and provide the Education Minister with a power to cap costs, but it will not be include a specific price cap. The criteria will set into place for the 2026-27 school year, which is about, a year and a half away. So all parties are in favour of this because they know the ongoing prices of school uniforms. And a lot of parents in recent surveys have all said they're all for it too as well. And I agree, guys, because the price of school uniforms is horrendous. Like even the blazers, for example. I remember my two kids, Brooke and Lewis, went to school. Like I was paying about 150 quid just for blazers. Yeah. Then you get their shirts, skirts, ties, trousers, tights for Brooke, shoes for Lewis, shoes for Brooke. Then you get the PE gear on top of that. It's costing hundreds of pounds. I remember speaking to a mum a few years ago up at Brooke and Lewis's school. She'd lost her job. She was working for some big business for years, and she lost her job, and she ended up having to go on benefits for a while until she found herself a new job. And it was coming around the start of the school year, so she applied for some help from the government to do some funding thing here in Northern Ireland where they give parents so much money. And she had two kids. Now you think about that, the blazers alone, 70, 80 quid a touch. Then you got all the other bits and bobs as well. You know what I mean? And they were only giving her like, what was it, £40 or £50 or something like that per child. And I said that wouldn't even cover a fucking blazer. So people out there who are unemployed or single parents or whatever, they're struggling, especially when they get to secondary level. Primary school isn't too bad. You know what I mean? But you still have, obviously, uniforms to put on. Some schools still wear shirts and ties and all. But when they get to secondary level or high school, for any of my American listeners out there, the blazers, the ties, the shirts, the shoes, the trousers, the tights, the skirts. Then you get the PE gears. Girls and boys are different. You've got the hoodies, the zippy tops, the leggings for the girls, the tracky bottoms for the boys, T-shirts, polo shirts. Fuck me, the list goes on and on. It just never changes. It's all a money-making game. And some of the schools, and I'm just going to be honest with you here, including my kids' old school, we're always going for the brands that cost the most money. And that really annoyed me. They were going to big brands like here in Ireland, Northern Ireland, O'Neill's, which is not fucking cheap because they do stuff for the likes of football teams, GAA, hockey, hurling, all these different, rugby, all these different things, and they cost a fortune. Absolute fortune. And it was just getting to the point where it was like, this is getting ridiculous now, the prices of school uniforms. When I went to secondary school here in Bangor, where I live, Mum had to buy me a blazer, a shirt, trousers, shoes, and that was it. My PE gear was a pair of white shorts, a plain white T-shirt that you maybe got in the supermarket, and a pair of black plimsoll shoes. That's all it was. Now they have to wear a certain type of trainers. Now they have to wear a certain type of bottoms and tops and tracky tops and zippy tops and coats and all that. It's just a fucking disaster. It's an absolute disaster. And I feel so sorry for the parents moving forward in the next coming years because the prices of uniform. And I'm glad to see this policy coming out now for parents getting that help that they need. Because a lot of young parents out there are going to be sending their kids to secondary school soon or primary school. Obviously, the school year has now started again. But again, the prices of schools is just, my God, the price is horrendous now. And I'm glad to see this happening. I wish it would have been happening sooner. But they're saying 2026, 27, which would be next year. This time next year, they'll be getting ready to go. But it's crazy. The prices of school uniforms now are horrendous. There was talk, was it last year? I think we were talking about on the podcast too as well. There was talking about scrapping the uniforms and having kids go into school. And they're like they do it in America. The kids wear normal clothes. Not them all, but some of them do. But no, at the prices of uniforms, thank the Lord my kids are finished now. Even though I do miss them being small, I say it all the time. But there you go. That's just a wee story for you guys. Any parents out there, let me know what you think. You want to drop me an email or your thoughts on it, on school uniforms. Let me know. I would love to hear from you guys on the social medias and also on the email. Let me know what you think about that. But yes, guys, I want to get into some of your questions here. Let's have a wee Jeffy jerk here now, because I did have my iPad open this morning and I accidentally closed it. Right, where are we here? What am I looking for here? Oh, there we go. Sorry. I did have it open, but it's now closed on me. Oh, yes, there's a lot of people were asking me over the weekend and stuff. I've got some news actually for you. I'm actually going to Liverpool very, very soon for a match day vlog, because I'm doing a live stream here on Sunday, by the way, guys, just to let you know before I get into some of your questions. I'll be doing a live stream on Sunday for the Liverpool Man United game. I normally go to that game every year, as you know. I've been going the last couple of years, but I haven't been to a Liverpool game this season, and I've had a lot of you saying, what the hell's going on? You're not going back to Anfield anymore? It's like, yep. So the first game I'll be at this season will be on the 4th of November, Liverpool versus Real Madrid. I'll be at Anfield in person watching the game. So stay tuned for that match day vlog coming up on the channel. And thank you for all your support over the match day vlogs, guys. It means a lot to me. A lot of you have been contacting me in relation to the match day vlogs all over the country, and people asking me to come down to their club and watch their their club play, which is great. But here we go. Question time. I'll go to Instagram first of all, guys, because I love the Instagram is probably one of the more popular ones, which is great. So, right, let's have a wee Jeffy jerk here and see. Right, I've one here from Christopher. Christopher on Instagram says, hey Matthew, love the podcast every single week. Keep up the good work, my friend. Sorry, there you go. Sorry to hear it's only going to one day, but hopefully it goes back to 2. Keep up the good work. Enjoy listening to it every single week, and also love the vlogs. Well, there you go. Thank you very much for that there. It means a lot. Let's get into another one here from Zachary. Zachary on Instagram has left me a message from my story that I posted yesterday. Was it yesterday or today? It was yesterday. It was yesterday I posted it. Zachary says, hey man, how's it going? Just a quick question. How's the single life going? Are you not missing having a partner in your life right now? I know you're obviously single right now, but are you wanting to ever get remarried again or even have any more children? Just a quick question. If it's a bit personal, you can tell me where to go. But love the podcast and love watching all your YouTube videos. Keep up the good work. Well, Zachary, I think I've addressed this before. Do I ever want to get married again? Yeah. I would love to have a partner again and be settled down and happy, and eventually one day get married. So I need to take another drink of water. I was like a desert this morning. I'm not feeling sick or nothing, just really, really dry this morning. Would I like to be married again? Of course I would. Absolutely. You know, if the right one came along and was settled down and, and would ever have any more children. I think it's got to that stage now where I'm 44 now. And people would say, well, would I say I'm a bit old now for kids? I don't know. Obviously, things happen and things can change in the blink of an eye. Do I love being a dad? You better believe it. Being a dad's the best thing in the world, even though they drive you mad sometimes, but there's nothing beats being a dad. Being a dad's the best thing in the world. But would I like to have a partner in my life right now, a permanent relationship right now, at this present time, as I sit here this morning? Yeah, I would. But again, it has to be right. And again, it has to be with the right person. Because I get people stopping me all the time and say, you not got a girlfriend yet? No. I've only been single 3.5 years. It's just one of those things. It's just the cards you've been dealt, and I just have to deal with it every day. So, but listen, hopefully things will change soon. So, but I have an old saying for you young ones out there who are looking for partners or whatever. I always believe this. The more you look for someone, the less chance you have of meeting someone. And the less you look, the more chance you have of meeting someone. That's a true story. Because for a long time, I remember when I was single years ago, I kept looking and couldn't find anybody. And then my last relationship, who you all know who it is, Sandra, I was with her for a couple of years. I wasn't even looking for anybody at the time, and she just popped up out of nowhere. You know what I mean? And I know a fella I was speaking to about 3 or 4 weeks ago. He's with his wife over 20 years now, and he wasn't even looking, and all he was doing was out one day, and he ran into her, and that was it. Bang, 20 years together. I could be wrong, because there's obviously the world's a lot different now with the dating scene and dating apps and all this different bits and balls out there and all that jazz. But I think the less you look, the more chance you have of meeting somebody. They'll come out of nowhere. So they will. But do I want to ever get married again? Yeah, if the right one came along, yeah. So it would be. I don't want to be sitting here in my 60s and still single. It's not good. I've been single for a long time now for a reason. So yeah, maybe one day. We'll see how it goes. We shall see how it goes. Right, let's get into another one here. Top of Jeffy, Kieran C. Right, I've one here from Ross. Ross on Instagram has said, "Hey Matt, how's it going? Just wanted to know, are you going back to Liverpool anytime soon?" Yeah, he says, I've just mentioned that. Yes, I am going back to Liverpool soon. If so, while you're there, are you going to do anything different in the city than the usual stuff? Anything different you want to try? Well, there's a few new things in the city I want to go and try, and which I'm going to be doing very, very soon while I'm there in November. Also, love the YouTube channel. Been watching now for 5 years. Love all the videos, especially the football ones. Keep up the good work, mate. Well, thank you very much for that, Ross. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm going to try some different things when I'm in Liverpool. In, I think it's about 3 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks. So we'll see. I'll do one here more from Instagram before I go to the emails. So we definitely do here and see. Where are we? Right, I've one here from Cameron. Aye, Cameron. Yes, Cameron on Instagram says, "Hey Matt, how's it going? Just wanted to say thank you for all your recent videos, especially from my old hometown of Bangor. I currently now live in Enniskillen, but I'm originally from Bangor, and it's good to see someone who's keeping the area intact and keep going, moving. I know the town is not a great place to live in right now with all the stuff going on, but it was good to see the video you posted last week about the seafront finally getting the work done to it. I hope to get back up sometime with my new wife and my little daughter at 5 years of age to see Bangor when it's finally finished. What's your thoughts on Bangor at the minute? It doesn't seem to be the same place as what it was 25 years ago, but what is it like now for you since you've lived there for so long?" Want the truth? Shithole. Not all of it now. Not all of it. No. Parts of this town need revamped and fixed. And I think I've mentioned this before, but the council in this town are a joke. Am I glad to see the seafront finally getting work done to it? Absolutely. Do you think it's going to turn out the way it's going to turn out? I hope so. But when I walked down that main street last week, guys, to go down to that front, that main street is embarrassing. And I mean, it's embarrassing. Most of them units are all closed up now. That main street is a fucking joke. Banks are closed, shops are closed, shopping centres are closed, everything's shut. All they have now is charity shops and coffee shops. A wee chemist, a funeral director's, a Greg's, a computer game shop. What else did they have? Let me think. An artist place, which was the old bank. And more charity shops than enough. And one food place, one fish and chip shop. That's it. This is a shithole. Like, when I moved down here in 92, the place was thriving. You had Woolworths, Wellworths. You had all the big stores. The flagship centre opened in the 90s as well. I remember working in the flagship centre. I worked in the flagship centre in 2003, and every unit was filled. See, on a Saturday afternoon, you couldn't have moved for the amount of people in that flagship centre. But packed to the gills, and now it's lying like a ghost town. The place is a shithole. The place is a dump, and it needs to be fixed. Hopefully, with this work going on at the seafront now, this is going to hopefully change it for the better. But I think the council really need to take a look at themselves and look at what's going on our main street. It's a joke. And here's the thing. Now, I'll probably get a lot of listeners who don't live here in where I live, and they don't know what I'm talking about. I live in a town called Bangor in Northern Ireland. Look it up, guys. It has a long history. I done a vlog last week where I was down in the North Down Museum, and I just took myself down there for the day. Went into the wee coffee shop and all, had a coffee, and done a wee tour of the museum and looked around the grounds of the town hall, or the Bangor Castle, or whatever you want to call it. Done a lovely video in there. It was a great wee time. And I remember walking out of there and then walking down towards Main Street and went, what the actual flying fuck is going on with this town? This town is a mess. That town used to be thriving. So it did. Thriving. And now it's land derelict. It's a dump. But I've noticed as well when they changed their name from North Down Borough Council, that's the name of our council here in Bangor, Northern Ireland, North Down Borough Council. It changed its name to Ards North Down Borough Council. All the money that was in the council all went up the carriageway to Newton Ards, which is about 5 or 6, 7 miles away. Newton Ards now town centre is thriving. Shops open, places booming. The shopping centre, every unit nearly filled, apart from the odd one or two. The shopping centre's booming. The main street of it is booming. The square, it's called a square in the middle of Ards. They have their markets and all their different wee shops and all. Everything's going well. Bangor, shithole. And when I went down there last week to see that work getting started, I thought, thank God it's starting. But again, look at the main street. Joke. Sorry for ranting on about there, but that's just a thing. But when you come up from Enniskillen, you're going to get your eyes opened. Because I'm going to be heading down actually probably in the next couple of days maybe to do an RB video down there of what's going on down at the seafront. And then look at that project I'm working on at the minute too as well for Lidl's, the new Lidl store here in Bangor. My little project I'm doing on the YouTube channel. The work has now stopped. The council fucking it up again. The place is landing like a complete shithole. Go and watch my videos on YouTube, you'll see it. The town's getting worse. It really, really is. But thank you for your email. And, if you're coming back up to see the place, well, your eyes are going to be opened even more. But thank you. Right, let's get into the emails. I'll do 2 emails and then I got to rock and roll, guys, because I want to get this podcast out today because I have a busy day today. So here we go. Right, I have one here email from, is it Florence? Florence? Yes, Florence. Hey, Matthew, how's it going? Just came across your YouTube channel a few months ago, but also listen to your podcast every week. I came across one of your recent YouTube videos from a few months ago where you and your son were up in Belfast on the Shankill estate. Okay? I have relatives from Belfast, especially on the Shankill, who are no longer with us anymore, and I just wanted to say thank you for sharing that video. Would you ever consider going up there and doing a full proper video of the Shankill estate to show everybody exactly where you grew up? I know you did show areas where you did grow up, but show the full Shankill Road as a whole. It would be an interesting video to get your perspective of it, what it was like back then compared to now. Keep up the good work. Love listening to your podcast, as I love hearing the real you. I know it's very restricted on YouTube, but I know on your podcast you can speak freely. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much for that. Do you know something? I have done loads of videos up there over the years, and I've done things like that. But again, when I want to make like a wee video documentary thing of me up there again, I've already done videos like that before. They're all on the channel. You can go and watch them. It's a strange one. I was up there a few weeks ago, as you know, when I was walking around again, and it's not the same place anymore. Everything's all changed now. So it has. But thank you for watching. If you go through the videos, Florence, you will find them. There's loads of them up there, me up there, doing different things. Like the first time I ever took the kids up there, and took them up there on the road for dinner and all up there, and we've shopped up there, and we've walked up there, and we've done different things up there. So yeah, I've done loads of videos up there. So I'll probably be up there very, very soon, actually. So I like to go up there every so often just to sort of have a wee walk about and maybe go in for a wee coffee somewhere or whatever. So, but there is loads of videos out there, Florence, if you want to go and watch them all. They are on the channel, so they are to watch. But thank you for your email. Right, let's get into our email here from, see. Guys, I do reply to these emails, by the way, because some of you were saying I don't, but I actually do reply to your emails. So I do. Right, one here from Chris says, hey man, how's it going? I know you're a massive Liverpool fan, but would you ever consider going to a match at Everton's new stadium just to see what it's like and experience it and do a vlog inside? Keep up the good work. Looking forward to your next live stream. Here, could you imagine me going to an Everton game? All the Liverpool boys I know that would fucking throw me in the Albert Dock. Now, if it's Liverpool, Everton away, maybe on the Liverpool side. Like me and Lewis have done videos outside that ground, but we've never actually been inside it. I did see now a funny video the other day this guy put up on TikTok. he was doing a stadium tour of the new stadium, and he was wearing a Liverpool top and a scarf, and he went over. Apparently, there's like a part of it was like a big giant clock or something, and it's in this big case thing, and he's standing there going, "Yeah, they've made this big giant trophy case, but there's nothing fucking in it." And look, they've even just put a clock in it because they can't put anything else in it because they haven't won nothing since 1995. And he's standing in his Liverpool shirt, and I'm going, "What a fucking arsehole." But in saying that, I done a tour of Everton's ground a few years ago, and I put a wee clip of it up on my Instagram, and probably about a month or two ago, of me and Lewis at Goodison Park, but we opened their jackets briefly because we were going to the Liverpool game that day. We opened their jackets briefly just to show our Liverpool shirts at Goodison Park. So, bit of fun, bit of banter. But that guy's video the other day was absolutely nuts. But, listen, here's the thing. Everton's new stadium is impressive. I'm not going to lie about it. People are saying it's a bit too steep. And I know some Evertonian fans, and again, I've people I've known over there in Liverpool now who are Liverpool fans. I've got to know them over the last couple of years by going to Liverpool. And some of their family are Evertonians, and they do share to our season tickets. They go to matches, whatever. And, they're even saying some of the Evertonians have seen on the likes of social media, the ground's brilliant, but the seats are a bit steep. But I personally, by that time me and Lewis were outside it looked impressive. Now, I haven't been there since then, so... but it looks a pretty good big stadium. I call it a Jan Tesco Express. It looks like one outside. Jan Tesco's. Another big Jan Tesco stores. It's a joke. It's a joke. Oh, dear. But would I ever go to an Everton game against somebody else, I really want to be able to step foot back in Anfield again, I would get slaughtered, especially online. So it would be. So there you go. And by the way, you said you're looking forward to the next stream. That's this Sunday, Liverpool versus Manchester United. Stay tuned for that. There you go. Guys, I'm going to wrap it up because I'm going to go here because I've been recording nearly an hour and I want to go and get this podcast wrapped up. A lot of you have been asking me about the Jackass of the Week segment. What's going to happen to it because the Thursday podcast has been cancelled. I'll be bringing it back on Tuesday podcast next week. So I'll definitely be back next week, 100%. But thank you again, guys, for all your questions. I will sit down and answer a lot of them over the next couple of days. Because again, you always send me lovely emails, and I love to sit down and reply to them all because it keeps me going. So it does. It keeps me going. And before I do go today, I did say at the start of the podcast it was a bit of an emotional day for me yesterday. And if you haven't saw the vlog from yesterday, guys, go and check it out. It's on the channel now. And all the other videos over the weekend and whatnot, and the match day vlogs that I done last week and all stuff like that. Got a bit of an emotional day yesterday. As you all know, I've talked about this in my podcast till I'm blue in the face about my friend who passed away. My best friend who passed away a few years ago, and I made a promise to hit one of his sisters that I would look after his memorial tree at the cemetery, which I do. I go twice a month to his tree and keep it clean and go up and visit and stuff like that. Plus my grandparents are buried nearby too, so I'll go and see them too and whatever else, make sure the wee grave and all's tidied up for my dad. That's his parents. But no, one of his sisters who I haven't seen in a very long time. Obviously I speak to one of his other sisters regularly, but she would obviously forward my messages on to the other sister who I haven't seen in a long time. But yesterday, guys, you'll see it in the vlog. I went out yesterday. I took myself out for dinner. They were doing an offer yesterday in a local restaurant for a meal deal. It was like a tenner for a meal. It was unbelievable, by the way. Go and check out the food. Incredible. On the vlog. But I was just sitting there, and the next minute, this girl just stuck her head up from one of the booths, next booth to me, and she just looked at me, and I knew right away. I was like, holy shit. And she came over, and the massive hug I gave her, it was unbelievable. And she invited me over to her table with her and her wee son, and her wee son was a lovely wee fella, so he was. And we were chatting away, and catching up, just going through a few wee things. They got their swap phone numbers. We're going to keep in touch. We've been texting since last night. And we're going to arrange a wee thing for maybe next week where I get to go and see my best friend's mum, who I haven't seen for, my God, a long time. So that's going to be another emotional day next week, guys. So that was a very emotional day yesterday, talking to her, and we're going to stay in touch all the time. We're going to go up to the tree together very, very soon. So, but no, it's just... It was a very emotional day for me, but it was a happy day as well. You know what I mean? But there you go. But that's just a wee thing I want at the end of the podcast on today. Because I've had a few, woke up this morning there on Instagram and some of you were watching the video overnight and you were saying like that was a lovely video you put out yesterday, Matthew, and all that there. So thank you guys for the support. I appreciate it. It was an emotional day yesterday. It caught me off guard, should I say. But it was good. It was nice to see her and I was so happy to finally get to run into her. And, you know, we're going to obviously get up to the tree together and we're going to celebrate his life next week. We're going to go around and see his mum and we're going to have like a wee tea together, all of us together, and have a wee tea and talk about him. And because his anniversary is coming up soon. He passed away the day after Brooke's birthday, so that's how I'll always remember. So I'll be there, up there to celebrate his life, basically, and have a wee bit of time together with the family and whatnot, so I'm looking forward to that. So there you go, guys. It's just a wee sad note at the end of the podcast today, but it was a happy one for me as well, because I was so glad to see her. So it was. But anyway, before I do go, guys, if you do want to contact me, you know how to do it now for next week's podcast. If you want to contact me at all for anything to do with the videos, whatever else, the social media pages are open. The comment section is now open as well in the YouTube videos, because a lot of you have been bashing on me about this comment section being open. It's now open. You can go and comment on all the videos. But you know the rules. If you're a dick, or you have your nasty comments, or you're a clown, you get blocked and you're kicked out. So, yep. Not that I can't take criticism, because I've had a few critical comments on there, but again, if you go too far, then you get kicked out and barred. Simple as that. But that's pretty much for now, guys. You know how to contact me by email. The social media's open all week. Stay tuned, guys, for a post coming up here probably in the next day or two of where I'm going to be this weekend in relation to football on Saturday. Stay tuned for that. And maybe a football match on Friday night too as well. I'm not too sure just yet, but we'll see. But I'll be doing vlogs throughout the rest of the week too as well, so stay tuned for that on our YouTube channel as well. And check out our good friends at FTPL Spot. And if you're listening to this podcast today on YouTube, please like, share, subscribe to the channel here on the Murami Podcast YouTube channel. Also, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, tune in, add us all to your favourites, guys. I really would appreciate it, and thank you for all your streams and downloads. Right, I'm going to go, so until next week, enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you in the vlogs soon, and I'll be talking to you next Tuesday here on the podcast. So until then, enjoy the rest of your week, guys. It's going to be a week before I can talk to you again. Sad. But you'll see me on YouTube. See you all soon, guys. Thanks for listening.